In Lesson 95, we are going to be solving two-step problems about a fraction of a group. So grab your whiteboard or a piece of paper and follow along. Remember that you can pause the video and try to solve before me and then check your work to see if you're right. Alright, so our first problem today says there are 30 campers in the forest. 3/5 of them wore green jackets. How many campers wore green jackets? So the first thing we need to recognize is that there's a fraction in this problem, 3/5. So we should first write 3/5 on our paper. Now we know that a fraction is really just a way of dividing. So we know that we're going to be dividing by the bottom number of our fraction. Now, to solve this problem, the easiest way is to start by drawing a box. We're going to divide our box into the number of pieces on the bottom of our fraction. So we're going to divide our box into 5 pieces. Now, it says 3/5 of the 30 campers. That means that there are 30 campers in all, and we're dividing by 5. So we're going to divide 30 divided by 5. Now we know that 5 fits into 30 6 times, which means that in each of our 5 boxes, we can fit 6 campers. Now the last step is to look at what our problem is asking. It says 3/5 of them wore green jackets, so how many wore green jackets? That means that our answer is 3/5. So we need to do 3 times 6, which is 18 campers. Alright, our next problem says 2/3 of the 24 elves worked in the toy factory. How many elves worked in the toy factory? So again, 2/3 is our fraction. We always know that we're dividing by the bottom number. That means we're going to divide our box into 3 pieces. Now we have 24 elves, so we need to divide our 24 elves by 3. 24 divided by 3, we know 3 fits into 24 8 times, which means that 8 fits in to each of our 3 slots of our box. Now, how many elves worked in the toy factory? Well, 2/3 of them worked in the toy factory. So 2 parts of our box were working. That means that our answer is 16 elves. Next, it says 3/4 of the 24 checkers were still on the board. How many checkers were still on the board? Again, we know it's a fraction, 3/4. We know that our bottom number is our division number. So if we circle it, it'll help us remember it. Then we're going to divide our box into 4 pieces. Now, we have 24 checkers. We're going to divide 24 divided by 4. 4 fits into 24 6 times, which goes into each of our boxes. Now our question says 3/4 of them are still on the board. That means that we do 3 of our boxes, which is 3 times 6, and 3 times 6 is 18 checkers are still on the board. Two-fifths of the 60 children ate pizza. How many ate pizza? Well, I hope the other 3/5 were eating delicious things because I don't know why they wouldn't eat pizza. But let's tackle our problem. 2/5 of our students, of our children. We know that 5 is our bottom number, so 5 is our division number. So we're going to divide our box into, of course, 5 pieces. Now we've got 60 kids. We need to divide 60 divided by 5. I know that 5 fits into 6 one time, bring down my 0. 5 fits into 10 twice. That means that 12 children fit into each box. Now, 2/5 of my students are eating pizza, so I need 2 of those sections. That means that there are 24 kids who are busy eating pizza. 3/4 of the 20 dogs were running. How many dogs were running? Well, 3/4 is our fraction, and our bottom number is our division number. So we're going to cut our box into 4 pieces. 3/4 of the 20 dogs. That means I need to cut my number 20 into 4. And I know 4 fits into 20 5 times. So 5 goes into each of my boxes. Now I have 3/4 of the dogs running. That means that I need 3 of these boxes. So I'm going to do 3 times 5 is 15 dogs running. Three-eighths of the 24 students were boys. How many students were boys and how many were girls? So we've got 2 questions here this time. But we start our problem the same way. We know our fraction is 3/8 and we know that our 8 is on the bottom, so it's our division number. So we're going to divide our box into 8 pieces. Now we have 24 students, so we're going to divide our number 24 divided by 8. And I know that 8 fits into 24 3 times. So I can fill in each section of my box as a 3. Now, the question asks us 2 things. How many were boys and how many were girls? Well, 3/8 of them were boys. So 3 of these are boys. That means 3, 6, 9 are boys. Now I can figure out how many are girls 2 different ways. I could add up the ones that are left. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I know that there are 15 girls. I could also do 24 students minus 9 boys is 15 girls. Either way, I'll get the same answer.